All right. Good morning, boys and girls. We are ready for math today. We are on lesson 5-1, which is going to be found on page 253. And we're beginning our build up toward some division and long division coming up very soon. So before we get too far into long division, we're going to use what we already know about division to do some mental math division using some place value strategies to divide. Okay, so let's start with our solve and share today. Jose has 270 hockey cards to arrange equally in 9 boxes. Each box can hold the same number of cards. How many cards should Jose place in each box? Now you can solve this any way you choose. Now in the third grade, maybe we would draw our 9 boxes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when we were first starting learning about division, we would do equal sharing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, until I got all the way up to the goal number. Well, if I try to do that now, 270 tally marks or 270 dots in all of these squares is just not a realistic way to solve this problem. So, what we're looking to recognize today is that these are, first of all, division problems. So let's go ahead and write down our equation there, 270 divided by 9. And what I want you to start to do is to use our basic facts. So our basic facts are going to allow us to be able to do these problems without having to do a whole ton of work because I'll be able to do it in my brain. All right, so if 270 divided by 9. Now you might remember with multiplication what we did with those zeros, and we kind of ignored them at first, and we thought of this problem as just being 27 divided by 9. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pretend that zero's not there. How many 9s can come out of 27? How many 9s does it take to make 27? So maybe instead of thinking 270 here, maybe I equal share up to 27. That's a bit more realistic. Or I could do some skip counting. 9 plus 9 gets me 18. Plus 9 more gets me 27. So how many times did I have to count by 9? Well, I had to count by 9 1, 2, 3 times. Or maybe you just know that 27 divided by 9 equals 3. Cool? Now, what we're going to do with that 0 is that 0 comes back in our final answer, just like it would do when we were doing multiplication in the last chapter. And so I end up here with an answer of 30 cards. So we're going to ignore the zeros. We're going to use some basic facts. And then hopefully we end up with 30 cards at the end of this problem. Okay, let's take a look at one more here before I flip the page. What if I was doing 30? Oh, let's make that 300. 300 divided by 5. This is a little tricky because it has 2 zeros in it. Now, I can't take 5 out of 3. If I only have $3, I can't spend 5. But what I can do is think of this as 30 divided by 5. And if I think of it as 30 divided by 5, well, I know something times 5 equals 30. I use my reverse fact here. And hopefully we know that that's 6. And so if I know that that is 6, then I got 60 here. as my answer because I'm just bringing the very last zero over into the problem. Okay, all right. So now with that, we're going to turn the page here to 255. And let's go over our guided practice together. Explain how 32 divided by 4 can help us solve 320 divided by 4. Well, it's simply if you know the basic fact of 32 divided by 4, and if 32 divided by 4 equals 8, well, then we know 320, because we're learning this property of zero trick here, divided by 4 is 8, but it has a 0 at the end. Okay? So that is how we can use those facts to help us solve. Number 2, Mrs. Gall orders 240 folders and divides them equally among 3 classes. How many folders does each class receive? And what basic fact are we going to use here? Well, if there's 240 folders, and we're dividing that by 3, what basic fact are we going to use? Remember, we're ignoring that 0. So the fact that we're going to use, let's put basic fact, is 24 divided by 3. And if I know 24 divided by 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, that gets me 8 altogether, then 240 divided by 3 is not 8, but AD, because we put that 0 in at the end. All right, a couple more together here. Number 3, 28 divided by 7. How many 7s to make 28? Well, 7, 14, 21, 28. It takes me 4. And if I know that basic fact, the other 2 are very easy. 280 divided by 7 is 4D. And 2,800 divided by 7 is 4 with 2 zeros, so 400. Okay, hopefully you're starting to see that pattern there. Let's take a look at the next one. 64 divided by 8. 8 times what equals 64? 8 times 8 is 64. So that means 640 divided by 8 is 8 with 1 0, and 6,400 divided by 8 is 8 with 2 zeros. Okay, so this is our place value trick. This is what we want to do. We want to use the basic fact, ignoring the 0, and put the zeros back in at the end. Okay, so your assignment is at the bottom 5 through 23, but you're only going to do the odd problems. And then on the back of the page, you are going to do... Let's do number 30 all the way down there at the bottom. And let's do problem number 31. Okay? And the rest of them, if you want to do more, of course you're always invited to do more for fun. Make sure you put your name on your paper and your number on your paper and have fun doing math. Thanks for working hard.